Have Captain Falcon's voice come in at the start and be like, "Show me your moves," and then like have the music cue in or something silly, as if this wasn't silly enough. But welcome back to the grand finals of the JORD Invitational. JORD Woodwatches are the sponsors of this event, and again, I'm glad they're with us because this sponsor bar looks fantastic, fully filled out at the bottom of the screen. However, spawning in the top left corner of the map, he leads 2-1 in this best of 7 grand finals. It's gonna be the blue Zerg player, Liquid Snute.
In the bottom left, mixing it up a little bit, it's the red Protoss Welmu, and he is getting that forge.
Yeah, that's this is a map where you can do the stupid 3 pylon trick, and I think Snute fully aware of this.
Oh.
He knows what's up, but the drone's on patrol to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, and it's confirmed too, as the Overlord, I believe, has seen the forge already down. Oops. Yeah. Yep, so he knows that he's just keep it there and just play safe. Unfortunately, while it's great to stop this from happening, Welmu not getting it, done isn't that big of a deal. Like, he could just go ahead and expand and be okay economically. But it looks like he's going to try and force the issue, let the pylon finish. Or he's just going to let the pylon finish. Well, it's taking away some drones, I guess.
Yeah, the mining loss, you look at the difference right now. For 1 minute of this, 200 minerals, it's kind of worth more than the pylon going down.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It does, really, I guess, it's like, who would let that finish over there? That's so weird. So it really does look like he's going to commit to it. But now the Nexus has been thrown down. Snute's probably figuring this is a fake. Just leave one drone attacking it.
It's nice that you don't have to worry about wasting too much, though. This isn't something where, like, proxy gateways where you have to dedicate if it gets scouted. You can kind of just back away from it, build the cannon at home, play a little bit more greedy.
And there was that chance that it's Cactus Valley that Snute goes for the 3-attribute pool. So
yeah,
there's definitely a good move to mix in there on a 4-player map, too. But it's going to be just, well, it's not going to be a very, very big deal for either player. Snute's only lost the mining time, Welmu only lost the pylon, and they both will go on with their days. Snute didn't go for a gas, by the way, so he should be throwing down a 3rd base soon. That's what Welmu was looking for.
Took a while to tear that pylon down, but hell, it's about time. Yeah.
Well, the drones they have, punching gloves, right? They don't have, the drill or the zap.
They're not even gloves, they're like little crabby claws.
They're so cute, like Kermit crabs.
Actually, it's funny because earlier someone had mentioned when we were talking about the probes getting pulled, those should we call it pulling the girls? And I was thinking about if you workers. Honestly, I can see the drones kind of being more like they obviously don't have a jet, they're robots, but I always think the voice could be like a female synthesized voice
for the probes.
Yeah, they look a little more effeminate, anyways. I mean, dainty little wonderful things floating in the air.
Maybe Carrie can also voice to them.
Actually, I'd love to go find out. It's turns out it's David Kim voiced the probes or something. They just voice simulated it.
I don't know,
hardcore.
man. Have you heard him in the Carve-Out episode?
No, I didn't know. Did they actually get him for a Carve-Out episode?
Oh no, yeah, that was really Dustin Browder and David Kim voicing their characters for Nerfin time.
Oh, I didn't even know that because I seen that episode. I just didn't realize it was really them. That's kind of cute.
We do have a Stargate. Following this up, gonna give him some control without having to really dedicate a lot of units, because whatever pops out of there shouldn't die. Oracle, Phoenix, those things are meant to last quite a while. But Snute gets a fairly well-timed Roach Warren as well as dedicating to that speed. Cactus Valley, not exactly the hardest third to take, not the easiest either, but it is an obvious one. It's not like Iron Fortress where you just look at it and you're like, damn, I don't want to take that third. For Cactus Valley, it's an okay third.
I mean, the spawn locations like this too, we sometimes talk about being a bit advantageous depending on the matchup, but unless Snute goes mutalist, it's going to be really hard to take advantage of this. So as far as thirds go, you don't really have to worry about bouncing around. I mean, honestly, there's some situations where Welmu may want to take a third closer to Snute. We've seen some very aggressive players who like to expand towards Zerg, but that's rare, and I don't think that's Welmu.
Snute looks like he's getting prepared to just bust down a third. What he's hoping is a third. And it should be the case. He opened up with the Stargate, sure, but it was only an Oracle, and then he goes for the extra gateways and the Forge. And he's looking to expand. I like the addition of the Void Ray. I think he saw the roaches pop out, and once the defense, they're probably the best thing you can get against roaches.
Void Ray with that prismatic alignment mode, man. I really wish it was, like, it looks pretty cool. I've got no qualms with the way the Void Ray looks, but I love the way they over-exaggerate it, speaking of Carbide, on Carbide animations, right? Because it's kind of like, it's like that Hyper Beam Super Saiyan Kamehameha. It goes ridiculous.
It is pretty good. There's more than just the, expanding gateways. I think this is what he's looking to do, what I talked about on Iron Fortress, right? He ended up following on Iron Fortress, but this might just be for the, well, I'm not going to be able to get a third because you're obviously attacking me. So I'm going to be banking minerals. Let me just get my production now. But, he's caught entirely out of position with the force fields. Oh my god. Runs out of them so he can't stop the lings from getting in.
And I can't believe, by the way, that didn't block the wall in either. So this is getting really messy as all the probes get to the main. Welmu's going to pull these back to the natural because the point of defense is at the natural. Doesn't exactly slaughter the probes here, but he's still... Oh, that's going to be so annoying cleaning up these lings.
Yeah. It further delays the third base, too. If he had just been able to perfectly fine, just like, go away, stop bothering me, then he gets a really quick third, and that's nice. But this is cleanup crew time. Snute is able to do whatever he wants on the back end of this. He did get up to have 73 drones and all of his gases as well. He can probably afford to get a fourth base, as that layer is finished.
I feel like when Snute hits 70 drones, he's doing pretty good. When he hits 90 drones, he's like on the verge of victory.
Yeah. Hey, Welmu. He's gonna try and take that third. Blink's almost done. It's maybe you could do something if you had a recall. Just try and stop Snute from starting to snowball, but doesn't have a recall. He's gonna try and pull up in the third, and it's kind of nice SimCity. But that again, if roaches are out in the field, would just open up your natural to be targeted a little bit, and it's not gonna be roaches. It's gonna be a lot of hydras.
I like this choice. They worked well last time he had a fight against Welmu going anything gateway related. The Hydras is well going to double over to deal with the Void Rays. Void Rays are really funny too, because if you get enough of them, nothing seems to stop them, but only 2 is not that big of a threat at all.
No. This has got to be a push that's just looking to maybe cancel a fourth if he was lucky enough for Snute to take the fourth over to the left. But then again, he's not building any probes. He's getting a couple extra gateways for the SimCity, but also obviously for the production. He might just be looking to try and attack and do something, but man, Snute's is already... He's got everything set up again. This is like that game on Van Eye. He pushes, and then all of the upgrades finish for Snute, and there's so many hydras available. Well, this is a little better.
Actually, as he comes back, this possible concave looks really good, depending on when the reinforcements get involved with the fight. Force fields not really going down. Recall might just be the option. No, going to go for time warps instead. So he's going to pull the drones into it. Hydras, get free! Drones, get back!
Yeah, pull it back! Lings are on the way to provide that fodder for the Hydras, and there's still a lot of them alive. The Queens are also helping out. They do really great against the Void Rays, which aren't really they're not the linchpin of this attack without a lot of roaches, Like, they're good damage and whatnot, but they're also pretty easily targetable by those Hydras with their range upgrade done.
Well, pushes us back. Some pretty good shots fired. Middle of the map, we do have the Lings darting towards the south. This base is pretty vulnerable. It's one cannon to defend. Not really all that much.
Yeah, he was starting to probe that up, and maybe was looking to kind of just scare and macro up behind it, but with this potentially killing the third base, it is now like an official all-in. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. He does try and pull back, but oh god, nope, he doesn't pull back. He pushes forward. He's a little indecisive himself.
Well, that's the third base down. This really sucks. Welmu's kind of, I'd say, relying on this, but at the same time, this attack is strong enough to kill just about everything here. It's a bit funny too, because I was talking with Snute a little bit yesterday about how, hey man, I'm sorry, but you might not be playing X versus Y because we had to play the rematch. It does ruin moose skills, and he had noted to me that Kano was one of the few players he was going to be really scared about playing. I think he won over Welmu so easily. Welmu wasn't that big of a threat to him, but here in the finals, Welmu was playing just so much better than we saw him yesterday. He's so much scarier, so much stronger, and while Snoot's getting these nice little victories through, like, knocking down the third, he still has to deal with the actual army of Welmu.
It's not game over, despite Snute having this really nice bank, having a fourth base. Honestly, I'm surprised he's not looking to use that bank towards the second Evo chamber, an infestation pit for the hive. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for to use that. I guess larva. No, he has 16 larva. I'm actually a little confused why he has so much money.
It might be a clutch thing where you're like, okay, I'll be able to remax on X instead of Y because I realize that's what my bonus is going to be weak to. I mean, Snute does have a fairly large army supply. There's the 22 Hydras.
Yeah. He does good. I mean, he had the bank to max out, in fact, and this time it's the larva stopping him. But I like the blink stalkers going forward first. They can just blink back if it really is already defended. I mean, it is a weak point for Snute, you know, being all the way out to the right like it is his fourth base. But then again, if Snute gets those 20 lings, suddenly Welmu is like not on his side of the map at all, and they could potentially do more damage.
Thank you, random person in chat. By the way, this has been updated to say best of 7. It's best of 7. Sorry, it's best of 3 before.
Oh, awkward. It's 2-1 in best of 3, and we're going on to game 4.
Yep. Because reasons. Fourth base getting taken down really not so bad. I mean, he didn't dedicate too much to this. It was mostly a gas mining base, and he's still got a lot of minerals to work off of. 10 mutas is kind of a cool concept. We saw this happen before. You know, you've got this really great army that can contest the ground army, but neither of you wants to budge. So use the mutas to go around and get to the natural, get to the third. I mean, keep in mind, for Welmu and Snute, they are starting to get low in their mains and naturals. Not quite mined out, but mining out as we speak.
Yeah, yeah. The mutas might very well, again, be just the 11 initially, or the 14, whatever, and then he just stops making them completely. But I'm a little worried that he's still stuck on just Hydras. Maybe some roaches should be added in here, because, you know, eventually Welmo's also going to get maxed out, and Blink Stalkers, the good upgrades, do kind of well against Hydras. But, of course, the mutas start to do their damage. There is no cannons or anything to defend against this. Luckily, a Warpin was available, so he's going to take as many probes down with him before getting out.
This is, on one hand, a bad thing because Welmu's economy is not the greatest, but on the other, less probes means more army.
Yeah, it's really getting quite scary without... I mean, the Lings provide some fodder, sure, but I think he's going to need more than just the units. He's going to need, like, a favorable position and whatnot, because this army of Welmu is getting quite scary. The only thing that'd be scary if it was Chrono boosted out of +3.
+2 is gonna work. It'll get the job done with this many stalkers, but +3, yeah, is the it's the real nice bit because of course stalkers they hit all right. I mean, 12 damage versus non-armored, it's gonna take a lot to shoot down high health units.
Yeah. Of course, about those force fields, so Snute catching him in the open area might be the best option for him to take a really great fight. Those Voiders are still alive somehow, by the way. I thought they were going to die first for sure. But there are those force fields, pretty darn good. A good chunk of the Hydras.
I like that he's disengaged this too. Not just A-moving, but walking away from the force fields. There's so many Hydras here that those sentries all would have died for sure if he had just kind of auto-attacked through this. Couple more Guardian Shields left, couple more Force Fields, but these units are starting to get picked apart. And now it's mostly just the Blink Stalkers. And when it comes to trading out, nothing stays alive better than a Blink Stalker.
Yeah, the Force Fields initially were so fantastic, and then once they were down, he had so many Blink Stalkers in a concave, that ended up favoring him.
And Snute doesn't have the money for the remax. He doesn't have the money this time.
Yeah, it's really not a remax, and it would just be on the same units, Roach or Hydras and Lings, which are dying to so many Blink Stalkers.
Void Ray, how are you still alive? Stop it.
Just lucky, man.
Just lucky, I guess.
Yeah, Welmu lost the third. You know, I thought he was going to be in really bad position after that, but he just constantly scaring Snute, I think. You know, Snute found the peace of mind once to go into that Muta thing, and that was kind of cool, but I wish that he had taken that long posturing time to go into Roaches, Infestors, maybe even Vipers. I mean, Infestors would have been really great because it was mostly Blink Stalkers, but he just didn't feel like he could, I suppose, because he was, you know, constantly afraid that fourth was going to go down, or he's going to get pushed into the third.
Well, this is, for Welmu's sake, been a pretty hard battle so far, despite the fact that it looks so much in his favor. But I guess at the same time, Snute didn't really have the money for the remax. Welmu's not had a lot of money. Like, I mean, just thinking on it, like, the base was attacked earlier. He never really took a fourth while the fights were going on. And Storm's on the way. Like, he's got all these things set up to be good. He doesn't have them right now.
Snute still not advancing, though, is just always going to be worrying. It's like the tech is not great for Snute, but the economy is getting worse for Welmu. There's finally the Infestation Pit, as well as at least one more upgrade. It is just Hydras. Not even the Lings here to help. There's a couple of them.
Oh, the storms are wonderful,
though.
though.
Oh my god.
And Snute just that supply drop. Oh my god. It's not even that Snute just lost a ton of supply. It's that Welmu lost virtually nothing for it. Wow. So storms are, yeah, which is sometimes questionable. They can sometimes be good, sometimes be bad. Those were really good.
Snute has another 4th base, luckily, I suppose, but he's not a great drone count. And again, these Hydras are so close to dying. Some of them still so weak from the storms.
I mean, granted, the Stalkers, some of them are quite low, but they got the shield regeneration, so they're a bit more alive, I guess. And as we see, the supply count dwindling much faster for Snute than it is for Welmu. Archon goes down on the front lines, but I mean, it did its damage. It soaked some shots, and Snute is down to 90-something supply.
GG.
Very well played, he says. I agree. Well handled, well played, and well executed by Welmu. Welmu. That will tie up the series now 2-2.